Hi, in this video I'm going to explain you how you can write a scripted REST API to create a record on incident table. And in that script I'm going to tell you how you can parse the incoming request to get the data and how you can validate the required fields are present or not, and how you can create a new incident record in the ServiceNow incident table. And finally we'll see how the script responds to the client with appropriate status and message based on whether the incident was successfully created or not. Finally, we are going to test the script using a Postman. And lastly, we are going to check with the ACLs as well, how you can restrict the access to this scripted REST API through the ACLs within the scripted REST API. Okay, no worries. I'm going to explain you line by line, whatever script I write. So you'll be understanding in an easy way. And let us go from the start. Go to your under filter navigator, search for a scripted REST API. Just open that. So here already there were scripted REST APIs available, but we are creating a new requirement. So we'll just click on a new. Okay, and this is the place where you're going to write your name and API ID is going to automatically populate. So now let me write a name of the scripted REST API. I'll write a simple create an incident. Okay, API ID will just leave it. It's automatically created. API name we cannot just change. So by default we are going to get, and this application is in global scope. You just click on save. That's enough. Okay, after you save, you can see new fields have been generated here. Under security, you find default ACLs. Scripted as the external default is the out-of-box ACL provided by ServiceNow. You can just leave it alike, or else you can create your own ACL. For now, no need of writing anything. Content negotiation, you can leave it. Documentation also, you don't have anything here. You can leave it. When you scroll down, you can see here resources. This is the place where we'll try to define the methods, like which method you want to make use of it, like a post or as a get. But everything will be defined within the resource tab. Okay. Now just click on a new. Okay, just to give the name of your choice. Like it's up to you how you would like to define. I'll write a post record. Give a simple name and relative path also. I'll just give by separating with underscore. Okay, and the method what the client should be using is post. Like by using this endpoint, the third party should be able to do the requirement of posting a records to our final target table. So after just give the name, give the relative path and the method. Just save it. After you save, you get the endpoint what the client should be using in order to use this. Click on save. Good. You can see here the resource path is automatically generated. Nothing but API / 127.990 is nothing but before we have seen, right? API namespace. And this is nothing but the API definition followed by the relative path, whatever you have written. And how the complete URL comes up is like dev210287.servicenow.com. After this slash, this will be appended. Okay. And this is the place where you try to write the script according to your requirement. Like when I say now we are doing a posting a record to the final target table of incident, here is the place where you're going to script it. So first I'll be writing each and every line, and I'm going to explain you finally like what exactly each line does, so that you won't get any confusion. So first of all, we'll think a requirement like the parameters. We are going to provide the payload of short description, caller ID, impact, and urgency, and they are mandatory fields to be filled by the end user. So we'll be assuming that these are the four things what we are getting from the request from the end user, and we are going to write the script. So first I'll declare a variable where where request body is equal to request dot Next, I would like to extract that fields from the request body. Okay, I'm going to explain you at last. Just to concentrate on how I'm going to write it. Now I'll declare four variables what I get from the request body, like a short description. Already I have declared the request body dot short underscore description, where caller ID is equal to request body dot backend name of our field, caller underscore ID. Next, I'll just declare impact variable, and I'm going to grab that from the request body dot impact, where urgency is equal to request body dot urgency. And we know that priority depends upon impact and urgency, so I'll just declare these two. And next, I'll be validating whether the all the four fields were provided by the end user or not. So I'll put a if condition, like I'll write like validate required fields. Okay, here you can just, I'll just write extract the, for us to understand, extract the fields from the request body. Okay, and this is nothing but parse the request body. Here you can just think. Okay, finally I'm going to explain you line by line. Just this is for a brief notes while we are coding, while we are scripting. Okay, now I have said like all the four fields must be mandatory, then only we are going to process the given details and create an incident. So I'll write one condition like if if I'll tell you at last, if short description or caller ID or agency. And I would like to say everything are mandatory. So I'll just put this not condition. Means every fields are present. Like I'm going to tell like if anything is missing, set status as 400. If anything is missed, like for example, four fields were given by me. A third party, I can say like client has provided only three details out of this four, then we are going to print all the fields were not given, please provide it. So we are not going to validate. Okay. If anything has missed, like something is being empty, then this is going to go into this loop, and we're going to give the status response of 400, and we'll just write the response set body as error, and we'll just mention short description ID impact and add the required field, so you are supposed to provide me. So I'll just end this with a semicolon. So we are just validated, then only you should go for the next step. So just write a return, and this is completed. If loop has completed, now I'll just write a script to create a new record, new instance record. Here you can write the logic, like we will be declaring an incident record where incident is equal to, I'll just write a glide record on incident table. I'll just do an initialize next incident dot initialize and incident dot short description is equal to, we have already declared in this line, right, variable. That one I am just telling, just take that value and just set the value of the incident with the short description to the short description of our incident table. Similarly, you try to write the remaining fields whatever you have. Caller id is equal to caller id, incident dot impact is equal to next incident dot urgency is equal to urgency. Next we'll write where we'll declare a variable and then we will just do an insert. Okay, this will just store incident dot insert, and next we'll try to check if the record was created successfully or not. We'll just write it, check if the record is successfully created. Here we are going to again use like looping conditions of if and else, so that we will be checking if I got the incident sysID. That means that is created, right? I have declared in 29th line. I am telling I got that incident as I'm able to get, so it is going to go into that loop. I'm going to tell in the response like set status as 200 created 201, you can think, and response dot set body. It's up to you how you would like to frame it. Created successfully. mm, and sysID is incident sysID, and you can just end with the semicolon. That's it. And one more, we'll just if it didn't return me any value, means it is unsuccessful, how we'll be telling them as well. Response dot set status is equal to 500. Internal server error, you can think. You can write according to your wish. Set body. I'll write an error stating failed to create incident. Create an incident. Okay. Just end with a semicolon. That's it. This is the complete script how you can just use to create a incident, how you can create a record on incident table, and how you can just make use of everything within your script of showing your status, response, codes, and everything. Now I'll explain you line by line so you'll be understanding. Okay. And finally, after I explain you, I'll show you how you can test it, how you can make use of a scripted REST API Explorer within the scripted REST API. So now let me tell you the first line, whatever you are saying here, this line defines an anonymous function that takes two parameters. That is nothing but the request and the response. These parameters are used to handle the incoming request and send back the response. Okay. This is automatically given when we are just creating a scripted REST API. Okay, next if you see in the sixth line, this line passes the request body to get the data sent by the client, like a request.body.data contains the JSON data that was included in the post request, and we are storing this all completely in the variable of request body. And from 9th to 12th is nothing but you can understand on a flow, and we are just extracting a specific fields from the past request body, like a short description, caller ID, impact, and the urgency into this particular variables. Okay, and if you come scroll down, and if you scroll down from 15 to 19th line, if you can understand, mm, sorry, from 15 to 19th line, if you can explain, this section performs validation to ensure the short description, caller ID, impact, and urgency fields are present in the request or not. If any of these fields are missing, the API responds with 400 bad request, what we have defined here in the 16th line. And in the 17th line, we are just setting a error message that terminates further processing. So it is not going to go into this 23rd, at least nothing else it's going to go. You're only just aborting. Okay. And if you come to this next line from 23rd to 29th line, I'll be explaining you this as well. It's a simple script of which we are writing a client record on incident table. Here we are creating a new incident record in the ServiceNow incident table, where incident is equal to new client record incident creates a new client record object for the incident table. And the second 24th line says initialize, right? It prepares a new record for insertion. And the third from 25th to remaining all 28th, we can see we are just whatever we had declared in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, we are just parsing, setting those values in our incident fields of short description, caller ID, impact, and urgency. These are nothing but the backend values of the fields. Okay. And in 29th line, if we can see, inserts the new record in the database and returns the sysID of the created record. We are just storing the sysID of the incident created in this particular value of incident sysID. Okay, completed, right? We have understood the sixth line, this block of code. Next, we are checking for this validation. Later, we are creating a new incident, and when the incident is created, the sysID is being stored in the 29th, this variable incident sysID. And now let us come to this particular block. Check if the record is successfully created or not. What we are doing is nothing but this section checks if the incident record was created successfully by verifying if incident sysID is true or not. If that incident sysID is captured, if the sysID is returned, it says the response to 201, whatever we have declared in this 34th line, and includes a success message with the sysID, whatever we have just grabbed from here. Okay, and or else if that wasn't successfully created, if the sysID is not written, it is going to go into this else loop. It says the response to 500 like internal server error, and includes an error message indicating that incident is failed to create, like failed to create an incident. Okay, this is the overall script what you can just write in a scripted REST API. I hope you have understood the complete script. Now let us make this save and we'll test it. First, we'll be testing with the REST API Explorer within the scripted REST API, and I'll show you how you can make use of post. We'll be acting as an end user, and we'll be testing using a Postman. Okay. Mm, okay, this is a save. Overall, also you need to save. Hmm. Okay, now if you can scroll down, this is nothing but requires authentication, requires ACL authorization, ACLs. I'll be telling you this one. At last, I'll explain you what exactly this means. But for now, you understand that whatever ACL was present on the parent level, that will be inherited in the child. Child is nothing but the resource. As this was checked, the parent level ACL will be added to here. See, for example, if I uncheck this, everything goes off. If I check this, request ACL authorization also checked, and the ACL which was present on the parent was inherited. Okay, so make always sure, like make sure that this was Always check to make your scripted REST endpoint only accessible to the authorized user but not for the guest. Okay, make sure to check this. For now, let me save it because we have made some changes here. Mm, okay, if you scroll down here under related links, you can see explore REST API. If you click here, the whatever we have created the scripted REST API, that corresponding one will be coming up here. We can make testing. So you can see namespace 120.790 API, whatever we have written. You just leave it to the latest, and we have only created one resource, that is the post that was seen here. And this is the endpoint what we'll be giving for the third party to make use of our script. Okay, script means I mean to say to make use of this endpoint, they can create a record on the incident table. Okay, and if you scroll down here, I said 4 parameters are required for the user to post the record. So how we can build a payload for them to use. We'll just see it. Just scroll down under builder. Or else one thing we can do. We'll just create a raw body here itself, and I'll show you how you can just test it. Okay, I'll just declare it like this, and I'll just declare a payload like whatever we should be giving. And here we creation. Okay, and it should end with the comma. Just you can beautify later. I'm just using name of my choice. I'll just declare a sysID. Normally, whenever you are providing the endpoint, that particular user also should be present here. Okay, normally whenever you are giving them, they already have the sysID. For testing purpose, I don't have anything, so I'm just using one random sysID to do this. And with the comma, and next other parameter. mm, Back to. And last one shouldn't have any comma. Okay, just remember that. And you can just write it neatly as well. Example, okay, let me make it beautify. Already I think Postman is open, so I'll just make use of mm, just beautify. Just copy this. Only for formatting I just used. Okay, I'll tell you how you can perfectly use a Postman after we test it. I got neatly. Okay, now that might be sufficient to post. I'll just click on send. Yes, it is 201 created. So you get a result whatever have we have declared like that only. Message instant created successfully and the sysID 56. This is the sysID of the record created on incident table. We'll just validate it. Go to, if you have SN utils, it would be fine. So you can just click on sys id and paste it. So you can see an instant was created. The user what we used is this one. 2 and 1 is nothing but whatever you have specified there. Priority will be automatically generated based on impact and urgency. And short description you have given test instance creation. Done. Okay, means the first check was completed. Our scripted REST API is working as expected. Now let me show you how you can just make use of this using a post. How you can make use of this endpoint using a post. How you can test. Mm, okay, 1 minute. I have a REST API Explorer. So this is the one I can use. This and this both are same. Don't get confused. You can use. Now I'll go to the Postman. I'll just delete off everything. So don't worry. I'll create you new one. So this is a one folder I have created. I'll show that as well if possible. I'll delete it. So from start, click on this my collection, blank collection. I'll create a new collection like REST API. Click on enter. I got a folder blank collection. Now here I'll create a new request and the endpoint what I'm going to use is post and here I need to specify the endpoint of the scripted REST API. I already have this so you can copy this. The easy one is like whenever you're giving for the third party just go to your scripted REST API resource. Scroll down, go to related links, click on explore REST API Explorer. So it will be the page will be open and here you can find your endpoint which you should be giving them. Okay, copy it, go to your Postman, paste it, and authorization is mandatory because he is using because here you can see in our security we have kept like in our resource we kept like requires authorization as tick. Without authorization this endpoint can't be accessible. So we need to provide the authorization. I'll show you how you can create a user as well, but let me first show you how you can fill every required details. Just copy this raw body, go to your Postman, go to your body, click on raw, paste this. Okay, now you can just write a no using Postman. Okay, just leave it. And the user ID is nothing but the person what we have copied. You can just change this to 3. It's up to your wish. And the 4 are mandatory. And in the headers, we need to specify 2 more. For example, if we go to our scripted REST API, you can see request format and request response format application JSON, application JSON. Normally, whenever you are creating a web service, it's mandatory like you put a conclusion, there should be one accept and content type. Okay, mostly our endpoint like we are going to accept in this format like already is there. You can see it comes up application JSON and content type is also application JSON. Okay, means it's going to accept the application JSON and content type also application JSON. Okay, the main things were done. You have set this to post. You have provided the endpoint. Please try to post to this particular endpoint you have mentioned. You have given the headers accept and content. Under body, you have just given the payload what that user will be giving. So don't confuse like where I should be getting this all. Normally, the payload will be provided by the admin. ServiceNow admin. Like this, the format, please try to use from your end and try to post the record. They'll be telling. So this one don't think where I'll be getting. This will be provided by the ServiceNow end. So you just use these parameters, and these right hand sides are the ones where you are supposed to be sending them. Okay. You can make it dynamic also. This is static example. If you would like to make a dynamic, you can just do that using, we'll have a separate what I syntax for them. Just check for them and try to use. And now let me come to the important section of authorization. We can just use a basic auth everything, not an issue. But now I'm going to show you how you can just create a user for the scripted REST API. I'll just use a basic auth and what are the mandatory fields that are username and password. So if I go to my instance, I'll just make use of this person only. I'll just open. If I come to the roles, I'll just click on edit. I'll take a random user. This user also will be provided by ServiceNow only. Okay, when to the third party. I'm telling you in both the ways, from ServiceNow end and from the third party end. I'm explaining you. Okay, for example, it has two. I'll just take it off. Whenever you are giving, when ServiceNow is providing a user details to third party, please remember whatever the required roles are there, those only you need to provide them without giving additional information. For this, you can just choose as it is a REST message. You can just use SN. mm, mm, we'll just check for one. We'll go to sys underscore user underscore role dot list. SNC platform REST API access. This is one single role which will help you give access to your platform REST APIs of table API, import set API, aggregate API, and attachment. Presently, we are using a table API, nothing but incident table. So if you can give this, it would be fine. And parallelly, you can give that ITIL as well. Once do check it. Can perform standard actions for ITIL help desk technician. This is out of box technician role. Can open, update, close, problems, changes, configure, management data. Out of box only users with the ITIL role can have task assigned to them. Okay, just we'll check with one. If that was sufficient, one role, we will just use that, or else we'll be needing to give that ITIL as well. But please check. You can create your own ACLs, you can create your own roles, and you can attach that roles to your scripted REST API and make that more configuration. You can make that scripted REST API more, what I can say, like you can make it more effective. I'll just give only one role and first we'll test. If that doesn't have sufficient, we'll just give the 19 as well. But don't give an admin. That's my preference. Hmm. So just copy this user ID, go to the Postman, provide the user ID, password, will generate it because I don't have that. Generate, copy, save the password, click on this, and you can uncheck this because we don't want them to change the password. If possible, you can even check this as well, web service access only. These are all restrictions, how you can restrict. I'll paste the password here. Put your headers, check everything. Good, we'll save it and we'll test it. Good. That one role is sufficient, you can see. Okay, no need of giving idle as well. That one role is sufficient. And you can see like instant created successfully. This ID is this one and this. So we'll just validate, copy this, go to your friend. Okay, good. You can see a number and the caller, whatever you have specified there. Impact 3 and 2, whatever you have given there. Priority depends upon this impact and urgency. It was generated automatically. And the short description, whatever you have given the Postman, using Postman.